Hello, we are live. And I hope we are live everywhere we're supposed to be across the planet, across the web. But me and technology, it's that's a crapshoot. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in. You have tuned into Passion Speak, where we give those with a passion a platform to speak. I'm Sandra Jennings, and with me today is Christi Jack. Christi is going to speak with to us about her passion, which is courage, and she's really been studying. Christi is a TED Fellow candidate, and she's a poet. And you should have all of her contact information right there, so you don't have to search for it in the intro. But I'm just so excited because people love you, Christi. I just want you to know that people love you.
Oh, I love the people.
Christi back. Oh, okay. They love you. Anyway, so and I love one of the things that you do very well is your poetry, and they absolutely love that. So I hope you've prepared something by way of your poetry for us.
Definitely. So Sandra, first I just want to say thank you for having me back.
Absolutely.
It was really exciting and terrifying the first time. So I'm glad today to get the jitters off and try it again. It is very exciting for me to talk about courage, but even more this time to be able to actually share how I show up with courage. I think you'll remember last time what I talked about was goals are courage food. So today, what I'll be sharing is kind of the journey that I had through a goal that I had specifically about my appearance, which was, losing weight. Sandra, you've known me for a long time. So most of my life, I've been very thin. And as I've gotten older, I've had to do a little bit of work to keep it that way. And so I saw a friend post a photo online where she was sharing her almost naked body and how she was kind of working on it. And I thought, wow, like that's really courageous, for her to do that. And as a small person, I feel like, a lot of people hadn't seen me for a while. So they just thought there's no way you could have actually gained a lot of weight. But I had gained like 26 pounds. And as a person that's only 5 feet tall, that was quite a bit. So I started off, as I think most journeys to courage or goal setting started off, I started off with a conversation with myself. And so that's the piece that I'm going to go ahead and share with you today. I haven't given it a name. Maybe I'll give it a name, but I will at least tell you all where to find it after I go ahead and recite it. So here we go. 136 says the number on the scale. I've been making the wrong choices, and now it wants to tell me something my knees and back have started to mention. My diet and exercise could use some more attention. You don't like the way you look. Aren't you tired of being tired? Some of your favorite recipes are going to have to be fired. You cannot hire a chef, but you can learn and adapt. Try eating some nuts instead of chips when you're craving a snack. Dessert is not a course for every meal. All that sugar will start to build on your belly, your teeth, and your thighs. Girl, your clothes don't have time to compromise. It is expensive to be out of shape. Moving around slow might make you late. Okay, let me not completely blame that on the weight gain, but you know what I mean. Breathing hard to go up the stairs. Shifting your weight when standing and sitting in chairs. Wearing the same jeans because they actually fit. This is life. Existence ain't it. Let's turn this around so at least you can fit your clothes. So you can retire and enjoy your life when you get old. You're the type of bowl that needs to be able to breathe. To reach, fruit and seeds are what you need. More water, more tea, more activity, more time for the body. It will be pleased. Goals have possibility when they are set with intention. So make up your mind and your scale won't have to mention. Thank you, Sandra. I'll be sharing that on my website tonight at shewrites.org if you want to see the words. So thank you for letting me share that.
I just want to say that although we titled this Courage to Try, and what prompted this whole conversation, because you and I got together, I think it was last September, October. It was before I got COVID. And we talked about courage, but this time I was just scrolling my timeline and I saw this picture and I thought, oh my God, she gained weight and she lost it. And what is going on here? And I want to show the picture because I was like, what is Christina doing here? And did she why is she didn't because when I knew you, you weighed a whopping 90 pounds.
Yeah, maybe.
You weighed like 90 pounds. And I knew over the last 20 years you put on just a few more pounds, but everybody does. But I thought, okay, she must have not been happy with what she was gaining. But it took so much courage to post this picture. And I thought, oh, we got to talk courage again. So that is what prompted this, because I said I got to bring her on.
Thank you. Your appearance is one of those things, you see yourself every day. So it can be very easy to, let things go and not notice. And, you brought up COVID. I have to say, like, having this time is what gave me the opportunity to really check in. Most of us were moving at rates that were just not sustainable for really any practice of self-care or, living any type of healthy lifestyle. And so I've been grateful for this time to shelter in place because it's, allowed me to spend more time picking out my food, actually cooking my food and, not just grabbing things because they're convenient. Now I actually can think about what I'm putting into my body and, spend some time exercising. And, it's work, but I will say, seeing the picture, it's been, I don't know, a couple months or a little over a month since I posted that picture. I haven't posted a new one since then, but maybe I should. That was very encouraging to see that, Sandra. It really was.
I know when we talked recently, you said, okay, how do I stop losing weight now?
Right. Now I have the opposite problem. So you'll have to bring me back eventually so I can tell you how I'm working out with my new goal, where I got to figure out how to work out and eat some of the bad food or something so that I don't want to be super thin. And so it's a constant journey. You will notice on the photo that you referenced, a lot of people ask me, like, how did you do it? And more importantly, it's been almost a year since I started that journey. So, and I've kept the weight off the entire time. As I said, I'm now losing too much weight. So I have come up with a few suggestions, three takeaways.
Okay, go ahead.
I want to put out there. So the first thing is change the plan. The second thing is don't buy stuff. And I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. And then the last piece is to trust your body. Those three things. So I'll break it down a little bit about what I mean. So change the plan. I talked about the fact that this has been something that I've been doing now for a year or almost a year. So I'm not doing the same type of routine or workout now that I was actually practicing almost a year ago. In fact, I actually started off working out with a group of friends on Zoom, where we would meet 3 times a week and do like a workout that we found on YouTube, and each person would just rotate bringing a workout. That lasted for about a month before the group kind of disbanded. At that point, I still wasn't ready to work out on my own. I didn't have my own goals yet. I still wanted it to be kind of a social experience. So I found a group of women who were working out outside, because at that time, outside was the only place you could go. There were no gyms open. And that lasted for maybe 2 or 3 weeks because me and the women were at different paces. And so I started to kind of figure out my own thing. And then that kind of broke off with me and one other person. So changing the plan was necessary. I also found that changing the plan, which is also related to don't buy stuff, but I found that changing the plan allowed me to feel like I was responsible for it. And so that kind of leads into my next piece, which is don't buy stuff. So it is very easy to be seduced by, these fancy workout bikes and equipment and, waist trainers and these sort of things. But what I find is that when you purchase those things or you set goals that are only based on like another person, like a trainer, then you only have those habits for as long as those items are available. The other thing is that those items don't always motivate you. And typically when people are not working out, it's not because they don't know how or because they don't have, access. It's just, you don't necessarily want to do it. Motivation is the problem. So I think when you don't buy stuff, it becomes more of an identity. Instead of a event-based habit, you're building an identity-based habit. So for me, I don't worry about now if I don't work out for like a week or two, because working out is a part of my lifestyle now. In fact, one of the tools that I reference, James Clear, he was probably the person in my ear the most, where he would say, at the end of every day, ask yourself, how many votes did you take for the kind of person you said you wanted to be? And so those are the things I ask myself at the end of every night, or, every couple of days I ask myself, in terms of my eating choices, how many votes did I take for a person who wants to be healthy and a person who wants to be strong? That's not to say I don't still like cookies and, pizza and things that are not good. I do have those things, but I do have them in moderation. And then I would also say, don't buy stuff because it works against your mindset. So for me, the mindset piece was very helpful. It made me feel like I was in charge. I started to learn more about something I think me and you talked about, was intermittent fasting. I have never heard of that before. I never thought like, oh, I'm just gonna, only eat for a short period of the day. Honestly, as a person who lacks discipline, that felt really terrible for me. But what I've noticed is that the days where I get up and start my day with activity, I'm just not hungry until midway through the day. And so I started to recognize how helpful that was for me in terms of making the right choices, because you got that window and then you're done and then you focus on other stuff. So I think when you don't buy stuff, you think more about your habits and how to build a lifestyle that is conducive to what it is that you want to do. And then the last thing was trust your body. I told you that two of the references, or I mentioned to you when we were talking, that there's yoga with two women that I love. There's yoga with Adrienne, and then there's yoga with Cassandra. And what I started to notice was that Cassandra was too hard for me. She was by 10 minutes in, I was on the floor and not really able to move forward. And so I started to recognize, okay, I still want to do yoga, but if I am discouraged at the end of every workout, then I'm not going to be likely to want to do it again. So I found yoga with Adrienne because she was just a little bit more of my speed. So really learning to trust your body and thinking about the time that you have. So one of the things that I mentioned is I recognize the privilege of currently being on shelter in place. I'm currently working from home. So I can build workout time into my morning, into my afternoon, into my evening. I don't have to do it 1 or 2 hours all at a time. So if you want to make this an identity-based habit, something that sticks, something that is really, has longevity, then you really think about how to build it into the time that you have. If you don't have the amount of time that I have, you want to think about when you could do it. If evenings are best for you or mornings are best for you. So I know that that's like a whole lot. But if you need support with that, I suggest designing your life, thinking about your life as a design problem. And, that way you can set up a system that will work for you.
Okay, I have a question.
Yeah.
We talked about, expound a little bit. You just talked about identity-based goals, and then you talked about event-based goals. Talk a little bit more about it. What is an event-based goal as it relates to my body and how I want to change my body, or how I want to change things?
Definitely. So identity-based habits are practices that you create that allow you to define who you are. I would say event-based habits are something like New Year's resolutions. So usually, all of us, myself included, we always say new year, new us, right?
Right.
That's an event. The new year is happening. So now you want a new you, which means the new you is only showing up for as long as there's a new day. Right. Now that new day only shows up that one time, right? So if you make an event-based habit, once the event is over, that habit goes with it.
Okay.
If
then it's over.
It's over.
That's why things end.
That's why they end. It's over. The event is over. So now your habits are over. When you make an identity-based habit, you then ask yourself, okay, I want to be a healthy person. Okay, well, what does a healthy person do? A healthy person has activity in their life for, 30 minutes or so a day. A healthy person is conscious of, what they intake, not just eating things because they satisfy their palate, but because they're nutritious for their body. So you would eat and exercise, you would move around, you would do things that a healthy person would do. That way, every day you can ask yourself, the habits of a healthy person, they don't change. So as long as you're continuing to practice the habits based on the identity of the type of person you want to be, you can always find a new starting point. James Clear also says, I forget how he names the rule, but he talks about like the way we compound. So say if Monday, you tell yourself you're going to work out for 5 days. And say you work out Monday and Tuesday, the first 2 days. And then by Wednesday, you don't work out. Not so much of a big deal. Some things could have happened, right?
Right.
But by Thursday, and certainly by Friday, you have to ask yourself, how many votes have I taken to be a healthy person? You're now recognizing it's been 3 days since I've done something based on that particular identity. Now it gives you a starting point to be able to go back to it. Here's one example for motivation, Sandra. I'll try it out on you.
Okay.
So to practice your identity-based habits. So say me and you were planning to hang out, right? And we made plans to hang out on Saturday. Okay. Saturday, you show up, but I don't. What are you going to do?
I'm going to proceed with the plan.
Okay. Are you going to contact me and say anything about the fact that I didn't show up?
Yeah, I'm going to say, first of all, when it's time for you to show up, I'm going to say, what's up? Give me the 10-second, whatever you got, whatever excuse you got. And then you're going to tell me, and then I'm going to accept it because humans have that right. But then I'm going to shift my mindset and I'm going to say, okay, now I'm doing this solo. How am I going to handle it?
But okay, say you decide not to do it solo, that we decide instead we're going to do it again together on Sunday.
Okay. So on Sunday, 30 minutes before we're supposed to meet, I'm gonna shoot you a text like, yeah, you're not chickening out, are you? And then
right. Okay. Now Sunday shows and I don't come. I'm not there.
Okay, then I know that you got some issues that are above my head. Okay. And when you're ready, you will contact me.
Okay, I'm gonna contact you later, and then I'm gonna tell you, okay, Sandra, I'm so sorry. Saturday and Sunday, I just messed up. I know you text me in advance and everything, but okay, Monday, just Monday. This is my final shot. Which are you likely to show up for me?
No, I'm not gonna have much faith in you unless I see a behavior change. If I detect a behavior change in something you said or did prior to that, then like for example, if you text me a half hour before time on Monday and you said I got it together this weekend, I'm gonna see you in a half hour, then I'm gonna go with it because I don't know what you're struggling with.
So that is exactly my point. That is exactly what you do to yourself when you tell your own self, Monday, I'm gonna work out. I'm gonna work out on Monday. And then on Monday, you don't show up, but your body will forgive you and be like, okay, you said Tuesday, I'm gonna try you again on Tuesday. And then your body show up, and then on Tuesday, you got nothing. By Wednesday, your body is like, nah, this ain't your identity. Your identity is that you ain't about to do nothing. I ain't even showing up for you. So I try to remind people that you have to be as good to yourself as you expect your friend to be. Show up for yourself. Show up. And to your point, if you find yourself not showing up, then give yourself some cues to change your behavior. So you said, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hit you with that 30-minute before text, right? So do that to yourself if you need to. Tell yourself on Monday, I'm going to work out at 4:30. Set that reminder for 4 o'clock and tell yourself, okay, at 4:30, I'm going to do 3 push-ups, 6 jumping jacks, and 2 crunches.
Okay.
And then the next day, check in with yourself. Hey, self, did you show up for yourself? Yeah, I did. Okay. That's an identity-based habit. You give yourself an opportunity to change your behavior and to do whatever it is that you need to do in order to change your cues. You see how easy that was? We didn't even rehearse that. You just figured out the process for developing identity-based habit.
Okay.
Yeah. Could you do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could do that.
That was the process for me every day. It was hard. It was very hard. But every day, and the days where I fell off, I would remind myself, hey, this is an identity-based goal. The accountable person is going to check in with themselves. So Christina, check in with yourself and then create a new plan to keep yourself moving forward. So that's what I'm doing. Every day, I'm just giving myself a choice. I'm challenging myself by choice every single day. And it's a change.
Also, it reminds me of something, a game I play with myself. Like I set a deliberate intention. Like I intend to, if it's working out at 4:30, I intend to work out at 4:30. What does that mean? That means I'm not looking for the gym shoes at 4:29.
Right.
I'm looking for the gym shoes, maybe even the day ahead of time to make sure they're in the place where they need to be. Because when I need to put them on, I need to be there because I got to be accountable to me. Okay.
You know, James Clear says exactly that. He says if your goal is to wake up and eat breakfast, then before you go to bed, put the pan and the spatula and the cooking spray right there. That way, when you wake up, your mind is cued. You know, we are just responding to cues. If you want to change your behavior, you have to change your cues. So yes, if your goal is to work out at 4:30 and you're just now thinking about it at 4:29, you might be in a little bit of trouble. So what I would also suggest is that people start small because your body will remember what it liked. So if the first time you're going to work out, you just tell yourself, all I'm going to do today is put on my workout clothes. Mm-hmm. And that might be it. As soon as you put them on, check yourself out, take them off. And then you tell yourself the next day, I'm going to put on my workout clothes and I'm going to find a workout. And you don't even work out. You just put on your clothes and you find the workout. And then by day 3,
I've done that before.
Yes, you know, that's exactly, you know, and Sandra, it might sound ridiculous, but Atomic Habits is the name of the book for a reason. It's not big changes over time that changes our lives. It's small changes over time. If you think about, say there's 12 months in a year, if you just do one different thing each month, by the end of that year, that's 12 things that you do differently times the rest of your life. But I mean, if you do that every week, and I mean, dare I say every day, you know, you have the opportunity to change incrementally at least 30 times in a potential you know, and I have to tell you, Sandra, I want to live a long time, but I think that life is going to be real boring if you're not exploring, you know, like what to do with that time. So, you know, creating identity-based habits is also another way to get some bang for your time, you know, to actually invest in something that you can, you know, use, you know, for your overall life. So, yeah.
I love that.
Try.
I love it. We're talking with Christina. She's talking about courage to try. We are not necessarily talking about weight loss or any of those kinds of things. But in this application, you had the courage to go out, to step out. You've done a lot of stuff that requires courage, and that was one of them. I appreciate that.
Thank you, Sandra. I really do appreciate it.
Okay, I want you to give me your takeaways again. You had 3 takeaways.
Yes. So recap, change the plan. Don't buy stuff and trust your body.
All right. I like that. All right. Well, as always, I want to keep it short, but as always, I really appreciate your time and I appreciate you sharing. And I had to come after you after I saw those pictures. I was like, try to explain this. And you are set to hear from your TED application pretty quick. And I wish you the best. And gosh, I love you. Let's do it again.
Thank you.
I can listen to you for hours and hours because
well, so you know, I'm gonna hold you to that, Sandra. I'm gonna hold you to that. I'm gonna contact you to listen to me.
I will do it. I'll do it. Wait, we got a comment before we leave. We got a comment. Alyssa Carter. She's saying she said identity-based habits. She loves that. Thank you. What else we got? Thank you, CJ and Sandra. Sarah Sherman, is that your friend?
That is. Sarah is like a sister to me.
Well, you got to give Sarah a shout out. Hey,
Sarah.
thanks for tuning in, Sarah. We appreciate you. And Alyssa.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. We will end, and I hope you have a wonderful night. And thanks again for coming on Passion Speak, where we give those with a passion a platform to speak. And you did it today with courage.
Thank you, Sandra. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
All right.
Bye-bye.